Today, the last thing we have to talk about is our active transport. And if you remember, this word active here means that we are using energy. So the first one we have to talk about are molecular pumps. So we're going to be literally pumping something. So in molecular pumps, this is when a cell uses energy to pump molecules across the membrane. They're going to be going against the concentration gradient through a protein channel. So it's using energy and it's going against the concentration gradient because it's active. So if it's going against the concentration gradient, we can remind ourselves that is going to be climbing up the slide. And you may be wondering, why would we want to move things where there's already more molecules? Why would we want to do that? Well, this allows our cells to concentrate key molecules within a cell, or it means that we can remove waste quickly from the cell. So some examples of this in the body are potassium and chlorine and sodium. These three things, we call them ions because they have these little charges next to them, so they're either positive or negative. But these three are used in all of your muscle contractions, and we want those to happen on command whenever we want them, which is why we build up a supply of them. We concentrate them on the certain side of the cell. So if we look at our little diagram, the first half here, we have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 molecules on one side here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the other. And we're moving from the side that has less to the side that has more, which means we have to use energy to do that. So over time, we're not reaching equilibrium anymore. We are purposely concentrating them on that one side. So now we have only 2 left over here, and we have piled up even more over here on this one side. And the last thing we have is our last type of active transport. And this time we're going to be using vesicles. And if you remember, vesicles are one of our organelles that act like little mini carts. They're doing transportation, which makes sense that we're talking about them now. Our first type that uses a vesicle we call endocytosis. And in endocytosis, we are using vesicles to move large particles into the cell. That's what this prefix endo means, into. So we're moving it into the cell. Some examples is when our white blood cells are engulfing bacteria in order to fight the infection. So when they are taking them in, it is through the process of endocytosis. Our second type using vesicles we call exocytosis, and exocytosis uses vesicles to export materials out of the cell. So examples in our body is our nerve cells that secrete neurotransmitters to send signals throughout the body. So they're going to leave the cell, they're going to exit. Actually splitting our picture in half here because we can see both endocytosis and exocytosis within the same cell. So we have these little vesicles, these little carts that form as things are coming into the cell for endocytosis. And then if we look at the other half, we can see exocytosis as those same little vesicles leave the cell through exocytosis. And that is all of our parts of active and passive transport.